the south of Bavaria, the marvelous Bavarian Alps. This August I've been to Bavaria, to the south of Bavaria, and I've been hiking a bit and doing some tourist stuff over there. And for the first time trying out my new camera, the Sony A7 IV that I bought. Well, and besides taking a lot of nice photos, I have also taken some videos, and I'm gonna talk about my moments in the south of Bavaria with you here. Alright, to start everything off, I'm here at the Alpsee, right in front of the Zugspitze. You've probably got the best view on the Zugspitze from the Alpsee, because also the Zugspitze is reflected in that lake so beautifully. And when the sun stands right, you can take some absolutely stunning photos. Though unfortunately the clouds later came up, and as you can see, it also rained a little bit, but still really beautiful. A really clear lake, and it is, I think, one of the most beautiful lakes you can go to, and it's actually also really easy to just walk around that lake because you've not got any height difference or anything like that. It's a really simple walk, and actually many people go that way, so I wouldn't really classify that as a hike. That was more like a small, nice walking tour, but a really beautiful one, especially in the early morning hours. I really recommend you to get up early to see the sunrise there. That day I actually stood up at 4 a.m. and then walked to the Alpsee. I arrived at about 5 a.m. and then I took some nice photos, and it was absolutely wonderful. And I got to meet some cute little ducks with their mother. And the next hiking tour, and that was actually a hiking tour, stunning, 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 stunning. That was the biggest, but also the, probably from the kind of differences of landscape, most beautiful hiking tour that I've ever done. So you go through the Höllentalklamm to the Höllentalhütte, it's called, I think. So that's a mountain cabin where you are headed through the Höllentalklamm, which is a really beautiful gorge, or I should say gorgeous gorge. And then going back to Kreuzeck, that's the name of the mountain that I just forgot, but now I just looked up, and that's exactly where I went to. And then from the Kreuzeck I went back to Grainau, to my holiday home. All in all, that's a hiking tour that I'll definitely repeat at some point in my life, because first of all, the weather was not perfect, but you still had amazing views. And second of all, I think next time I'll do that tour, I may actually combine that with a Zugspitze tour. So Zugspitze, that's the highest mountain in Germany for everyone who didn't know yet. And so to climb the Zugspitze from the Höllentalhütte and then possibly go back through the Kreuzjoch and to the Kreuzeck. So the tour that I basically did, just with the stop staying over the night at that Höllentalhütte, because you can stay there during the night. That's the beautiful thing in German mountain cabins. You can book a bed there and then stay during the night, and of course also buy some food there and so on. It's lovely. And one more thing nice to mention, the good food and the nice music and dancing during the Heimatabend in Grainau. And now, before going to Austria, the Austrian side of the Zugspitze in that vacation, I also went to the rather famous Partnachklamm, which is more of a tourist thing, I would say. There are way more people than in the Höllentalklamm, and in my opinion it's actually not as nice as the Höllentalklamm, but it's much easier to walk because it's really an easy walk and you can also easily get there, while the Höllentalklamm is rather something for hikers. But it was also all really nice, and I enjoyed my day there, and after going through the Partnachklamm also went for a small hike and so on. Well, but now, finally, moving to the Austrian side of that Zugspitze, and you've already got this beautiful view here from the holiday home that I stayed at, towards the beautiful Zugspitze in the early morning hours. But I promise you I've even got better footage of it a couple of days later when the weather was better. But for now, because the weather was kind of bad during the first days, we mostly walked around some lakes in the area, and there are many nice lakes close to Erwald. Or actually, it's Biberwier. We stayed in Biberwier. So the lakes that you've got really close there in like 5 to 10 minutes by car. I think with public transport it's almost impossible to get around there. But with the car it's totally fine. You've got the Weissensee, the Mittersee, and the biggest one is the Blindsee. And the Blindsee you can access a special parking spot for free if you have got this, I think, Zugspitzkarte, Zugspitz-Arena-Karte, something like that. It's basically the tourist card that you get when you book an accommodation there. However, if you don't have that, you probably should go to the Rasthaus Zugspitzblick and park there, because the parking lot at the Bootshaus of the Blindsee is actually rather expensive if you don't have that card. I think it costs about 15 euros if you don't have it. But with this Zugspitz Arena card, it's free. By the way, important to mention, the lake that you cannot see already is not the Blindsee anymore. It is the Heiterwangersee. And right next to the Heiterwangersee is the Plansee. It's also rather close to Biberwier, and you can walk around those lakes. Also really nice, though on that day we didn't really do a lot of hiking. But of course had some nice views. Especially from Biberwier itself, where we found that really nice spot with bench. You can see my mother there with my dog and enjoying the view of the mountains there. And later that day there was also a nice, some kind of Heimatabend like in Grainau, just different name in Austria now, so it's all different. It's Austria, not Bavaria anymore. Then another rainy day. But it was still nice because the Fernstein Schloss, it's called, I think, which you can easily reach by the Fernstein Pass, of course with a car. I don't think there are any buses going there, but you can definitely get there by car. Fernstein Schloss with, I think, also Fernsteinsee, all called Fernstein. And there's a nice castle ruin there in the middle of the lake where you can go to. Theoretically, I think that, well, there were warning signs that said, well, you may die there, so probably you shouldn't go there because that castle is crumbling, it's not safe anymore. But I still wanted to see it, so I just went there, and it was still quite cool, especially with that weather. It was kind of intimidating almost. But besides that, you've got beautiful views of that Fernsteinsee, of that lake, from that lake to the castle. And I imagine when the weather is better, there's probably a really nice reflection in the lake of the castle as well. Oh, and important to mention, it's apparently quite famous for diving because the water is so clear there, and you can really see that in some of those clips. Alright, now, last tour that I'm gonna talk about, a nice hiking tour that was a guided hiking tour that was available for free with the tourist card, and it was also really nice. We went up there, Abendspitze if I'm not mistaken, and theoretically you could do even more hiking tours up there, so that's definitely something that I want to do someday, but I don't know when yet, because currently I've got other hiking tours planned. But also magnificent landscape, and you've got horses, and with one of those horses I was able to take a pretty nice shot, in my opinion, having the horse right in front of me and the mountain, the Abendspitze, right behind the horse. Oh, and the horses always, they are always asking you for something to eat, though I didn't have anything on me, so I just petted it. Now, but that's it for this video, but I'm really sure that the next video is gonna be even better than this, or if you didn't like this video, the next video is definitely gonna be better, and hopefully it'll reach the level of being good. Though if you watched until now, you probably, or hopefully maybe enjoyed this video. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see us next time in the next hiking tour, the hiking tour to the Coburger Hütte, and then back through the tire turtle and so on.